we'll review the work in progress, or WIP, in Oil Country OS. So to begin the process in Oil Country OS, we're going to bring some pipe or equipment in using Receive from the home screen. It's going to open what we call truck log in the system. We're going to log the carrier, the driver. The control number is core to the system, and it will tie the different trucks together if there's multiple on an inbound load. And we're going to just call this 10050. Going through the process, you're going to log who owned the pipe when it left, where did it come from, let's just say the docks in Oklahoma, who owned it when it got there, and we're using the Williston pipe yard as our example pipe yard. There we go. And one key thing to remember when you use work in progress with this system is you're tying the inventory to a sales order. So we can generate an inspection report on the fly. So right at the bottom here underneath ship to, you're going to see create a sales order. Make sure this is clicked. Now, if this is your normal workflow process, we can configure the system to automatically check this, so all the inbound loads automatically create a sales order and an inspection report. At this point, we're going to add an item, the inventory that's coming into the system. We're going to choose a master part number. I'm just going to type in a few letters. I'm going to bring in some 2 3/8 tubing for inspection, and I only have one that I run through this system. And for math purposes, let's just bring in 100 joints at a joint footage average of 32 feet, and let's put this on rack 1B. Each job that you bring in, or inventory, can have a unique description. For this, I'm going to just say basic inspection and ship. I'm going to hit OK, and it's going to bring our inventory in. This has a unique job number of 8496. At this point, you can hit send and send the client a receipt. You can print it and get sign-off, digital signature. For expedience purposes, I'm just going to hit complete and close the truck and bring the inventory in. At this point, we can either click on Yard View. I already have it open, and I'm going to hit refresh. And as you see, we brought the inventory in. Notice that it created a sales order number for us. 8496 is the job number. Here's the part number. Our unique description. It's in received status. It's in the Williston pipe yard. And here's the joint count and average footage. Now, if you'll notice over here to the right, in my virtual yard, I have bucking, trash, water blaster, and some other things, the EMI hydro. Okay, and then I also have my virtual racks, which when I set my yard up, I created behaviors for each one of these racks so that it not only changed the inspection color on the inventory, but it also checkpoints them to a status of finished. This allows me to see what's finished and what's not so that I can ship it. So if we drag and drop the pipe over to EMI, we have the opportunity to either move it by specific number of joint count, or we can move it all. Now, in the real world, you would only move 30 to 50 joints at a time, but for expedience, I'm just going to move it all over here to EMI. Notice that it changes the status to EMI, puts it on the EMI rack. Notice all the information is correct. I'm going to drag it over to the hydro, and that's where we finish up this process. Now, in the real world, you would get a piece of paper, and you would then drag and drop the number of joints that failed inspection or were subprime or prime to the appropriate rack. So let's just do that now. I'm going to drag by joint count 10 joints. failed inspection. I'm going to drag and drop a certain number of joints to green band. Let's just say 10. You can make notes if you want to. It's not necessary. Okay, and then a certain number to blue, and let's just say 30 to subprime. Still good for production though. And the rest we're going to drop to the premium rack. Now, if you click here, and I always do it in this order for a reason. If you drag the bad ones over to the red rack, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, by the time you get to your premium, it's your original job that you brought in. And it just makes it simple for traceability purposes and backtracking and seeing what exactly happened, because this contains all your historical data from the time it was brought in and exactly where every single piece went. As well, if you right-click here on any of these jobs actually, and open the sales order, notice that it not only brought your original in, this is your original job, but every time you split that job out into different sections, it logged that in the sales order. So this is keeping track of everything that you've done. At this point, we can print as an inspection report. And notice that it's not only charging them if that's what you want it to do, and that's on the part number, but it's also splitting them out. 50 white and yellow, 10 red band, 10 green band, and 30 blue band. I personally would mark this at $0 amount on the part number. If you're in the inspection business, you're charging for services, not necessarily by the foot. So, okay. Now at this point, if you'd like, you can actually add a service. If you want to use this, I'm just going to say more services here, category of services, and this is basic inspection. Notice it, I'm just going to tell it 100. Notice that it logged the price per joint. If you want, you can also add loading and unloading services. Oops. And we can go down here and say unloading 1. For this particular client, I charge $160. Okay. Oops. And there you go. It was $185, and I'm going to say $160 for this client. There we go. And I'm going to hit save. And now at this point, I can checkpoint it to invoice and email that to clients. It also, through auto alerts in your configuration, it alerted accounting, and accounting can now download this to your financial system. Okay? Just going to hit save and go back to yard view. All right, now that this is complete, it's on the virtual racks, we're ready to ship it out. So let's just drag it all over to our staging rack. You don't have to do it this way. You can just ship out the premium and purchase the rest if that's what you do. But for demonstration, I'm just going to drag it over to the staging rack. Notice it's all there. It's all banded. And I'm going to see. Move this. Oh, here we go. I was looking for the selected. Right click. It's all the way over to the left. I'm going to right click and hit select all and hit ship. It's going to put all of the inventory on this virtual truck. Give it just a moment to load. Notice that it's defaulted to the owner and the yard that it's located in currently. You can log your truck company, your truck number, your driver, and any additional control numbers if you'd like. And then you can change the location to the ship to. We're going to ship it to another pipe yard. At this point, you can hit print and get your bill of lading or the driver's signature digitally. Notice it has all of the inventory joint count footage. If you'd like, you can go through and import inspection or import tallies or manually log tallies in each one of these. I would suggest that you go to a different video for that. And now we can complete this truck, ship it out, and also archives all these jobs, which takes them out of inventory. If I hit refresh, notice that the loading rack is empty. Now if you want to go back for whatever reason and find the archived by control number, you can. You can also turn on, and that is WIP.